Hello, my name is Leo and welcome to a new day of the Elder Scrolls Arena. We are now fast traveling, well, I say now. We have been for how many days now? It's been 6 days that we've been fast traveling. Has it been that long? We started... Whatever, it's been a while. Anyway, we're fast traveling. We're still fast traveling. The point is, I was wrong when I said we are now fast traveling. Well, I mean, we are technically, grammatically, looking at syntax, we are fast traveling now. Like, we are in the present progressive form of, fast traveling, right? ING, get it? Right? But that is to say, it's not like we just started, we've been doing it for a while now. Yeah. Okay, so, yesterday I was talking about how I'm late to adopt new technology, and I wanted to get into something, but I decided that I'll leave it till today, and that's talking about the PS4. So yesterday I was talking about how I'm late to buy new new consoles or new operating systems or just new technology in general. As far as phones, I didn't talk about this yesterday, but as far as mobile phones or cell phones are concerned, I prefer the most simplest, dumbed down, not fancy mobile phone I can get my hands on. Because I'm worried, like with these smartphones, I've got a smartphone now. I didn't buy it, I won it at work, which is fantastic, because I never would have bought it. I use it as a tablet. I use it on my coffee table next to my couch. I use it, to check emails, look at stuff, do YouTubing, things like that. I don't have a SIM card in it. I don't put it on a plan, like a data plan. I use, the Wi-Fi at home, and that's it. Because I'm worried to take it out. I took it out a couple of times. I used it as a phone when I was in Japan, when I first came here, before I actually had a phone. And I was worried about using it because I'm scared it'll get... smartphones are big in your pocket and they're just, I'm worried I'd drop it and break it, or I'd sit on it or something like that. So I want to, I have the most basic of basic phones. Okay, let me describe for you the phone that I have. It is small. It is about an inch and a quarter wide, and maybe 2 inches at most, like tall. It's quite thick. It has a single button on its face. The display is black and white. It does light up. There is a single button on the front face of the phone. On the side, there are 2 buttons, an up and a down. That's it. Those are the only 3 buttons on this phone. It does not have like a face touchscreen interface. It does not have actual number keys whatsoever. So what you do with this is you press the button in the middle. That brings up your menu. Then you use the up-down things to scroll through your menu. The button on the front is your OK button. If you want to go back, you have to select it as an option in the menu to go back and use the the front face key to choose go back. This particular phone, it is designed for kids in elementary or grade school, basically. I actually got on a grade school plan because I never use my phone. It is merely there for me to call in emergencies or for people to call me. And when I say people, and this is where it gets interesting. So, you know how there's no dial, there's no number keys on the phone, right? So how do you call people? At the actual phone shop, they input 3 numbers of your choosing into the phone. Those are the only 3 people that you can call. You can also call, of course, emergency services. Now, also, to that end, those 3 numbers are the only numbers that can call you. My wife recently got a new mobile phone with a new mobile number. She can't call me on that mobile. She can only call me on the original mobile number. It's weird. The good news is I get like free calls to those 3 numbers. which is useful because I don't have any money, apart from buying the phone. I'm going to talk more about that maybe sometime in the future, about Japanese mobile phone plans, because I used to work in the mobile phones industry, and let's just say it's weird here, it's different. But that's not what we're talking about today, right? Well, I told you that story just to let you know that, this phone is the most basic of basic of phones. I could drop this thing, it probably wouldn't break. But even if it does, who cares? It's like worth pittance, right? It's like a $10 phone. Who gives a shit, basically? Anyway, the point I'm trying to say is I'm late to adopt technology. Now, I was talking about the PS4, about how although I'm mildly interested in the PS4, I really don't have an interest in it. Like it's just, there's just nothing there grabbing me. The only thing, right? The only thing, and it's the same reason that got me to buy that PS3 back that first time, and I told you that story yesterday. If you missed it, go check the video out. The reason why I bought a PS3 or the first time is because of Metal Gear Solid 4. The reason that I would buy a PlayStation 4 is for Metal Gear Solid 5. That's the only reason that would make me buy it, at least at this particular moment in time. But here's the thing, I don't need to, because Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to come out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, not that that matters, but yeah, it's going to come out on the PS3. So I don't need to buy a PS4 so I can buy it on the PS4. Of course, the PS4 version is going to be better, and this is where my discussion comes in. What am I going to miss? What am I going to miss out if I get the PS3 version as opposed to the PS4 version? Now, I mean, everyone who's been looking into this knows that the PlayStation 4 version, in fact, is the only version, including the Xbox One version. The PlayStation 4 version is the only version that runs at 60 frames per second natively. Wait, no, is that right? No, I thought it was the resolution. The resolution's different. Oh, is it? Yeah. The PlayStation 4 is at 60 frames per second, natively running at 1080p. Well, that's funny because my TV is 720, so I don't care about that. And I think the Xbox version is still 60 frames a second. Is it? I thought it was 30. I'm not sure. But it runs natively at 720, I know that much. Yeah, because the Xbox does that, yeah. Now, the last gen version, so the 360 and the PlayStation 3, 30 frames per second at 720. Now, the resolution, like I said, is irrelevant to me because my TV is 720 anyway, and honestly, I couldn't care less about the difference between 720 and 1080. I know there's been discussion about it, but I honestly couldn't give a shit. I bought a 720 TV back in the day because it was infinitely cheaper. I bought a 720 TV now because it was infinitely cheaper, again. And because, I play games at 720 anyway, so it's, irrelevant. Now, but the 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second, is it a big difference? I think Revengeance goes at 60, and you can see that it is, you can see the extra frames. You can see it, compared to if you watched it on YouTube, which is, of course, 30 frames per second. But then again, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you watch a PS4 on YouTube, it's 30 frames a second. So, yeah, I'm really used to it. If you don't know what frames per second are, it is the amount of pictures, still images, that are being shown on the screen per second. Now, the human eye cannot distinguish, no, not distinguish, that's not what I meant to say. The human eye cannot notice a single frame if the frame rate is more than 24 frames per second. What I mean is, if it's 1 frame per second, right, so every second there's only one picture, obviously you can notice the fact that there's a picture. If it's a 15 frames a second, every now and again you will notice there is a single picture on the screen. If it's 20, the same. But 24 or more frames per second, in this argument we're talking about 30 frames per second, you won't notice it like choppy, like being choppy at all. That being said, like I said before, the eye can still distinguish the difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. And yeah, there is a difference there. But is it enough for me to buy an entire console? I don't think so. Now let's talk about content. What content might I be missing if I buy the PS3 version? Now, I don't know. They've been really vague, and the game comes out like... Wait, doesn't it come out like next week? I think so, yeah. The game's coming out really soon, and I still don't know. The other thing is, Metal Gear Solid 5 is really, like the Ground Zeroes, is really expensive for what it is. I'm really hoping, like, if I don't buy it now, and I wait until Phantom, god damn it, these names, Peace Walker, Phantom Pain, I wait until Phantom Pain comes out, they might actually have them together as a bundle, although I did hear that the early versions of Ground Zeroes will have some sort of a secret DLC for Phantom Pain, which will allow you to do your base building a little bit easier, like the free-to-pay element. Well, no, it's not really free-to-pay, it's base building, yeah. Honestly, I don't really care that much to buy it when it first comes out. Obviously, they want us to do that because it's more expensive. The price will probably go down later on. That puts another valid point. I'm pretty sure they did drop the price. I don't know if it's even now, but as far as I was aware, the PS3 version was cheaper than the PS4 version. And a physical version. I can get a physical version if I get the PS3 version. These are advantages for the PS3, not the PS4. One thing I'd really like to know is, if I buy the PS3 version of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, can I later upgrade to the PS4 version by paying like $10 or something? Like with, I think Assassin's Creed 4 did that, Borderlands 4? Jeez, where did Borderlands 3 come? Battlefield 4 did that as well, like an upgrade system. I would like that, because that would make my mind at ease. I just buy the PS3 version, and then maybe later on down the track, when I do get a PS4, which I probably will, because there are going to be games that I want to play, and they won't be on PS3. At the moment, that's not the case. Games like the new Yakuza Ishin game came out on PS3 and PS4. Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to be PS3 and PS4. I wonder if they'll change their mind. Because Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes is fine, but when Phantom Pain comes out, it's going to come out like a year later. Are they really going to release it on the old console? Well, they kind of have to. Because if there's carryover elements from Ground Zeroes, and you've bought the PS3 version, and there's no PS3 version of, I almost said Pacific Rim that time, everything that starts with P, right? The Patriot games, shut up. And they don't have a PlayStation 3 version of Phantom Pain, then, and you buy the PS4 version, then you're not going to be able to carry over that stuff. That would suck dick. They said that they're doing it, so I guess we just have to take their word for it. I guess. But I really like that ability to be able to upgrade it, like, at a later time. That would allow me to just not worry about it and just go, yep, alright, that's it, done deal. I'm gonna buy the PS3 version now, and I'll just upgrade it later if I want to. But I'm probably gonna buy the American versions of these games and import them, because you know what? If you think the American prices of Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, and Phantom Pain are pretty expensive, you have no idea how expensive the Australian ones are. Ground Zeroes is going to be, I think it was $50. And the exchange rate's pretty much the same as America. $50 for a game that is 2 hours long. Dude, that's expensive as hell. To be fair, I remember I bought Paparazzi on the PlayStation 2, and I'm pretty sure I paid like $60-70 for that game. and that game like had less gameplay than what Ground Zeroes is totally gonna have. Good point. But Paparazzi was a dumbass game, and I couldn't help but buy it. Well, when you think about it, Ground Zeroes is one of those games too. It's like, it doesn't matter what the price is, you want that game. You will pay what you need to pay to get it. You paid what you need to pay to get Metal Gear Solid 4. Yes. And if Metal Gear Solid 5 was not coming out on the PS3, I probably would buy a PS4. Thankfully though, it's not. So I've got this decision that I can make and save myself a whole bunch of money, because the PS4 is going to go down in price. It will. I mean, the Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to go down in price. So maybe I'll just wait, just completely wait, and not get it. After all, I want to play all the Metal Gear games again before I get to Ground Zeroes. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Don't watch any freaking Let's Plays, because that'll ruin the whole thing for you. Metal Gear Solid is one of the games that I wouldn't do a Let's Play of, at least not the first time. Kind of like Skyrim. When I first played Skyrim, of course I did start doing Skyrim as a Let's Play, but when I first played Skyrim, the game was just great. Just to play by myself and not have any like outside interruptions. Turn off all the lights, keep it all dark, turn the volume up, and just enjoy the world of Skyrim. Now, well, Ground Zeroes not so much, but Phantom Pain is going to be fully open world, just like that. Well, maybe not as open world as Skyrim, but you get the idea. So I kind of want that same experience. That's why I'm not going to do a Let's Play of it. At least not the first time through. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, so yeah, in conclusion, probably not going to buy a PS4, and probably not going to buy Ground Zeroes for the time being. Just buy it later when it gets cheaper. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know, what are you guys going to do? I'm sure there are plenty of people there that are desperate to play Metal Gear Solid 5. I know I am. Despite the fact that I literally just said that I'm going to hold out on it. I don't know. Is there a demo? No, there isn't. There might be a demo when the game comes out. You might want to check that out. Yeah, I might. Because I'd love to. You know what? There won't be a demo. Think about it, dude. The entire game is like a demo. You have downloaded demos for games on like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. You have made the demo last longer than 2 hours. Like, even Blood Dragon. And like I just drove around in that tiny little area for like all day, forever. And what was the other one? Well, there's the Yakuza Ishin demo, or the Yakuza demos really. I just play them. I just like you go, or the Yakuza demos. They usually have a bunch of skill games. Like I don't think they had Pachinko in the Yakuza 4 demo, but they had some skill games, and you just play them. You just play them over and over again. That takes way longer than 2 hours, and that's a demo. There's no way that they would have Ground Zero as a demo. In a way, Ground Zeroes is the demo, only you're paying money for it, which is kind of silly. You know what they actually should do? You know what would be a great idea? Okay, the standalone price for Ground Zeroes is, let's say, $30 American. Right? Which I think is what it is. The standalone price of Phantom Pain is, I don't even know what it is. Is it $60? $70? Something like that? I don't know. Let's say it's $70, right? So in total, if you buy each game separately, it's $100. Okay, which is for the American market is a lot of money. For the Australian market, that's pretty much how much they cost. Usually brand new games are like $100. Yeah, it sucks. But if you bought Ground Zeroes, right, and then maybe like inside the box or there's some sort of code, and then when Phantom Pain comes out, you can use that code to get Phantom Pain at a discounted price, so that the total price is pretty much the cost of a full game. That would make a lot of sense. I understand if they've got to charge a lot of money for Ground Zeroes. After all, there's a lot of money that was put into the engine and the story and just the game in general, right? But if I buy both games, the total sum cost of both of those games should be the same price as what Metal Gear Solid 4 was when it first came out, or what Metal Gear Solid 3 was when it first came out. I shouldn't be paying extra. Ground Zeroes is not DLC in my opinion, or as some people have called it, pre-LC, like DLC before the game. It is the tanker mission, you know, in Metal Gear Solid 2. It is the, was it the Virtuous mission? Yes, the Virtuous mission. In Metal Gear Solid 3, there wasn't really anything in 4. You could, I guess you could call it, not really, I was about to say Act 1, but Act 1 and Act 2 are like the two biggest, like, acts in the game. So not really. Not really that one. But, you know, a lot of the games, there's been, like, the first small chapter and then the larger chapter, right? And the total cost of both of those chapters is the cost of a normal game. This should be the same. I think it is. And I don't know if they're going to change that. It would be great if they did. I, for one, am going to hold out and wait to see what happens, to see if they do something like that. The whole idea of being forced to buy Ground Zeroes now, because if you don't, your base building is going to be more difficult in Phantom Pain, is in my opinion, a free-to-play tactic. Like those tactics that make you buy gems or bullshit to make your buildings go faster. When I play free-to-play games, and I don't play them often, but when I do, like the Onimusha Souls game, I don't care how long it takes. I'll take however long it takes, but I am not paying a cent more than I have to. That's how it is. So I'm just going to hold out. Let me know what you think. But when we come back, we will still be fast traveling. You know, that's not going to stop anytime soon. But I'll be talking about something else, I guess. So for now, my name is Leo, and I will see you next.